Have you ever felt like you're carrying the world alone? Like the weight of your struggles is yours to bear with no one to lean on, no one who gets it? Maybe it's the silent nights questioning your worth, the days juggling everything with a smile that hides the cracks or the quiet ache of feeling unseen, unheard, unheld. If that loneliness stings your soul, stop right here. This isn't just a video. It's your rallying cry. You don't have to rise alone. There's a sisterhood, waiting, hands outstretched, ready to lift you when you falter, cheer you when you soar. Today I'm sharing 5 simple, soul-stirring steps to tap into the power of sisterhood, woven through stories of women who faced the dark, shattered, scared, solitary, until they found strength in the hands that clasped theirs and said, "We've got you." At Hope4Her, we're not here to let you fall. We're here to rise together, to weave a bond so fierce it breaks every chain. Imagine this, a circle of women, hands linked, hearts open, not just surviving, but thriving, unstoppable because we're one. That's not a dream, it's your community calling. Stay with me because sisterhood isn't just a word, it's your power, and it's time we claim it together. But first, let's face this head on. Here's the raw truth. Over 70% of women say they've felt isolated in their struggles at least once. 7 out of 10, battling alone, their voices muffled by the lie that no one's there, no one cares, no one understands. That's not just a statistic. It's a silent fracture splitting hearts across America right now. It's the single mom crying in her car, the career woman hiding her burnout, the friend who's too proud to admit she's breaking. Loneliness stealing their strength, their hope. And here's the shock that'll wake you up. Even the women you admire, the ones who shine brightest, have felt that same ache, stood in that same dark thinking, "I'm on my own." But they didn't stay there. They found sisterhood, not by chance, but by choice, by reaching out and being reached, building bonds that turned their solitude into a force. These aren't fairy tales. They're real, tear-soaked stories of women who discovered that together, we're unbreakable. If they can rise hand in hand in a world that often pits us against each other, then you, yes you, can too. We're about to step into their circles, not to make you feel small, but to remind you that sisterhood isn't a luxury. It's your lifeline, and it's stronger than you've ever imagined. Step 1. Reach out. One hand starts the circle. Step 1 breaks the silence. Reach out. Sisterhood begins with one brave hand. You don't wait, you start it. It's not weakness, it's the spark of strength. Real story, Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey stood alone. Poverty, abuse, a baby lost at 14. She said, "I felt no one could hold me." Self-reliance was her shield, but it broke her until she reached. She asked family for shelter, mentors for guidance, friends for hope. She told O Magazine, "Sisterhood lifted me, I wasn't alone." Those hands didn't just catch her. They built her empire. Today she's a billionaire, a cheater billionaires because she reached out. Your hand, it's not empty, it's the start. In America, where independence is celebrated, reaching out can feel counterintuitive. We're taught to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, but Oprah's story shows that even the strongest among us need a hand. She grew up in rural Mississippi, facing odds many can relate to, financial strain, family struggles, dreams that seemed out of reach. Her turning point wasn't a solo victory, it was asking for help. When she moved to live with her father in Tennessee, she didn't just survive. She leaned on his strict structure and later sought teachers who saw her potential. That first step of reaching out rippled outward, connecting her to a network that fueled her rise from local TV to a global icon. For you, reaching out doesn't mean you're failing, it means you're building. Think about the single mom in Ohio juggling 2 jobs, the college student in California drowning in debt, or the retiree in Florida feeling forgotten. Oprah's lesson is universal. One call, one text, one coffee meetup can shift everything. Maybe it's a coworker who's been through what you're facing, a neighbor who's a good listener, or even a support group online. America's full of communities waiting to catch you. Start small, ask for advice on a tough day, borrow a cup of sugar and linger to chat, or join a local book club. The US thrives on connection. Think of church groups, PTA meetings, or even casual tailgates. Oprah didn't wait for permission. She acted. How to do it? Feel your ache. Say, I need. Pick one sister, friend, neighbor, text. Can we talk? Write, I reached today. Feel the tremble? That's connection waking. You're not solo, you're sparking. Try this. Next time you're at the grocery store, strike up a conversation with the woman in line. Ask about her day. It's a low-stakes way to practice. Or call that friend you've lost touch with. Americans love a good reunion story. Keep a journal of who you reach out to. Seeing the names grow builds momentum. If you're shy, start with a text. Hey, I could use some advice. In a country of 330 million, someone's waiting to say, I've got you. Step 2. Share your truth. Vulnerability bonds us. Step 2 opens your heart. Share your truth. Sisterhood isn't surface. It's raw, real, binding us through what's true. Real story, Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga hid her pain. Assault at 19 scarred her. Self-doubt silenced her. She said, I felt alone in my hurt. But she shared, told friends, fans about PTSD, her fight. She built Born This Way Foundation with sisters who'd been there. She said, sharing healed us. Today, she's a force because truth bonded her. Your truth? It's not shame. It's your glue. Lady Gaga's journey resonates in a US culture that often prizes perfection. Instagram filters, LinkedIn success posts, the pressure to have it all. Born Stephanie Germanotta in New York, she was a quirky kid who didn't fit in, bullied, for her style. After her assault, she buried it, chasing fame to escape. But the weight of silence broke her. She'd perform sold-out shows, then collapse in private. Sharing wasn't easy. She first told a close friend, then her mom, and eventually, millions on Oprah's next chapter. Each step peeled back the armor, showing American women that vulnerability isn't defeat, it's power. Her foundation now helps teens nationwide, from urban Chicago to rural Texas, proving truth builds bridges. You don't need a stage to share. In the US, where mental health conversations are growing, think therapy apps like BetterHelp or community walks for awareness. Your truth can start small. Maybe it's admitting to a friend over coffee that you're overwhelmed by work, or telling your sister you're scared about paying rent. Gaga's story teaches that honesty invites others in. Picture a mom in Atlanta confessing she's struggling, with postpartum, or a teacher in Oregon admitting she's burned out. Those truths spark sisterhood. Start where you're comfortable. A text, a quiet chat, even a post in a private Facebook group. Americans value authenticity. Look at the rise of podcasts like The Moth, where real stories connect us. How to do it. Name your truth and I'm scared. Tell one sister, this is me. Write, I shared. Feel the fear? That's trust growing. You're not weak, you're weaving. Try this. Next time you're with a friend, say one hard thing. I'm not okay today. Or join a local women's circle. Many US cities have them, from yoga studios to libraries. Keep it simple. I'm tired of pretending. Watch how she responds. 9 times out of 10, she'll share back. That's the glue Gaga found, and it's yours too. Step 3. Lift each other. We're stronger together. Step 3 rises high. Lift each other. Sisterhood isn't solo strength, it's us together pulling one another up. Real story. Serena Williams. Serena Williams fell hard. Childbirth nearly took her. Doubt crushed her. She said, I couldn't alone. Sisters lifted. Venus trained her. Friends cheered her. Fans held her. She rose. Grand slams again. She told ESPN, they lifted me. Today she's a legend because sisters held her wings. Your lift? It's not one way, it's ours. Serena's story hits home in America, where sports and resilience are cultural icons. Growing up in Compton, California, she and Venus faced racism, skepticism, and a tennis world that wasn't ready for them. After giving birth to Olympia in 2017, Serena nearly died from a pulmonary embolism. Her body and spirit were battered. Alone, she might have stopped, but Venus, her lifelong doubles partner, got her back on the court. Friends like Meghan Markle sent encouragement, and fans across the US, from Miami to Seattle, flooded her with support. That collective lift turned a near tragedy into a comeback. She won titles again, proving sisterhood multiplies strength. In the US, lifting each other is everywhere if you look. Neighbors helping after hurricanes, co-workers covering shifts, moms trading babysitting. Serena's lesson is practical. You don't need to fix everything, just hold someone up. Maybe it's the co-worker in New York who's overwhelmed, offer to grab her lunch. Or the friend in Arizona who lost a job, send a "you've got this" text. Americans love a team effort. Think Super Bowl watch parties or community fundraisers. You can lift by listening, sharing a resource like a job listing, or even dropping off a casserole. Serena didn't climb back alone, and neither should you. How to do it? See her struggle, say "I'll help." Lift. "You've got this." Write "I lifted." Feel the bond? That's strength doubling. You're not falling, you're flying. Try this. Next time you see a woman stressed, maybe at the park or grocery store, offer a kind word, "You're doing great." Or help a friend with a small task, drive her to an appointment. In the US, random acts of kindness are a thing. Pay it forward at Starbucks and watch the ripple. Keep track of who you lift. It's a habit that grows. Step 4. Celebrate together. Joy multiplies us. Step 4 lights us up. Celebrate together. Sisterhood isn't just pain. It's joy, shared, multiplied. Real story. Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama carried grief, miscarriage, scrutiny. But sisters celebrated. Her mom, friends, cheered her wins. Law, First Lady. She said, "Their joy lifted me." She wrote Becoming with their laughter. Today she shines because sisters rejoiced. Your joy? It's not solo, it's ours. Michelle's story mirrors the American dream. Hard work, setbacks, and a community that cheers you on. Raised on Chicago's South Side, she faced loss early, a miscarriage that left her isolated. But her mom, Marion, kept her grounded, and friends from Princeton and her law firm threw parties for every milestone, passing the bar, landing jobs. As First Lady, she faced relentless criticism, yet her squad, women like Valerie Jarrett, celebrated her initiatives from Let's Move to Girls' Education. That shared joy fueled Becoming, a bestseller that inspired millions. In the US, where holidays like Thanksgiving and 4th of July thrive on togetherness, Michelle shows celebration is a lifeline. You can bring this home. Americans love a good party. Block parties, baby showers, game nights. Celebrate your friend's promotion with a Zoom toast if she's in another state. Or bake cookies for your neighbor's kid graduating. Michelle's joy grew because others amplified it. Your wins deserve that too. Maybe you paid off a credit card, text your bestie to cheer, or your sister ran a 5K, show up with balloons. In a country of big dreams, small victories matter. Share them. It's not bragging, it's bonding. How to do it? Share a win. "I did this." Cheer hers. "You're amazing." Right? "We celebrated." Feel the warmth? That's sisterhood glowing. You're not dim, you're dazzling. Try this. Next time something good happens, call a friend. "I got the job." Or host a potluck. US suburbs love them. Snap a pic of the moment. It's a memory that lifts. Michelle glowed because she wasn't alone, neither are you. Step 5. Stand as one, unbreakable. Together. Step 5 binds us. Stand as one. Sisterhood isn't scattered, it's a wall, unbreakable when we're together. Real story. Beyoncé. Beyoncé faced doubt, breakups, industry bias. She said, "I needed my sisters." Destiny's Child, her mom, friends, they stood, pushed her to formation. She told Vogue, "We rose together." Today she's a queen because sisters held her throne. Your stand? It's not lone, it's ours. Beyoncé's rise is pure American grit, Houston roots, global reign. Early Destiny's Child days were rough. Lineup changes, legal battles, and a music industry that boxed black women in. After splitting with the group, she doubted her solo path, but her mom, Tina, designed her costumes, and friends like Kelly Rowland kept her steady. When she dropped formation in 2016, it was a cultural earthquake. Her hive of fans and sisters stood with her against backlash. From Coachella to Grammys, she's untouchable because she's not alone. In the US, where protests and movements like Me Too show collective power, Beyoncé proves unity wins. Standing as one is practical here. Think of co-workers in Detroit rallying for a raise, or moms in Georgia fighting school cuts. Together, they're louder. You can stand with a friend facing eviction, help her call lawyers, or join a cause. America's full of them, from food banks to women's marches. Beyoncé didn't bow to critics because her sisters had her back. You don't have to either. Link up at a community event, farmers markets, church picnics, and feel the strength. In a nation of diversity, unity is your edge. How to do it? Link hands, say, "We're one." Write, "I stand with them." Support, "I'm here." Feel the power? That's us, unbreakable. You're not alone, you're unstoppable. Try this. Next time a friend's down, say, "We'll figure it out." Or volunteer together. Habitat for Humanity's big in the US. Stand physically. Hold her hand during tough news. Beyoncé's throne stands because of her circle. Build yours. 5 steps to the power of sisterhood. Reach out, share your truth, lift each other, celebrate together, stand as one. Oprah, Gaga, Serena, Michelle, Beyoncé, they didn't rise alone. They rose with sisters, hands clasped, hearts fierce. Sisterhood isn't a side note. It's your strength, your circle, your fire. You're not here to break solo. You're here to rise together, to heal, to shine as one. Now my question, who's the sister you need to reach for right now? That friend, that stranger, what's stopping you? Name her below, let it out. Then act, today. Text her, "I need you." Lift her, "You've got this." Feel the bond tighten? That's your power growing. Subscribe if you're ready to rise with us at Hope4Her. You're not alone. What's your first hand to clasp?